Hi, I'm Dave. Welcome to the shop. I just finished a little platter. It's about 16-inch in diameter. I'm in love with the shape, kind of a baby moon hubcap sort of shape. After I did that, this will go out for Christmas present or something. After I did that, I had a bunch of pieces that I cut off it. Bring it in tight and you can see. So I had a bunch of pieces that I cut off it, you can imagine, and some scraps left over. I started cutting those scraps up and made some small blanks, small turning blanks, like these. These are, I think of these as rice bowls. Not that I eat a lot of rice out of bowls, but that's what I think of them as. And I sit on a little board in town, and I was thinking this might make a good Christmas present for some of the board members. So, problem is there are 9, so I need 4 more of these. So I have to actually go from scraps to actually cutting up a plank. But let's go do that. That's how it's going to happen. It's not that my shop is small, because it's not. I mean, I got that. But once in use, all shops are small. There's never enough room. Piece I want, not that. Piece I want is, I'm not sure. It's either this one or that one. I think it's this one. I don't really know. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. This one right here. This is a piece of black walnut. Anyway, I'm going to dig this little mess of things out, all the pieces and parts, set them aside, throw these down, pull that one out, and then I've got some other things to make, so that'll work out pretty well. Let's see what happens. Great. Good for now. So, I've got my dividers out, compass, and I've laid out 6 small bowls, size I'm working on right now, right next to this crack that runs right through. This whole piece, the reason I selected this one is it's got a crack running down the middle of it, which means it's small pieces. Now, I'll just cut that off. What I'm going to do here, I've got this. This is I'm thinking, you know, maybe get another bowl out of this, different size. Something a bit bigger than that. Love my dividers, or calipers, or compass, I guess is what it is. So something like that. That'll work. So now I can see that I've got a cut line right there. Shorten the whole plank. It's still going to come in pieces. I've got a strip countertop piece that I'm making for a present. So the rest of this will get cut into strips. It'll be great. And these become little bowl presents. All right, moving right along. Let's throw this up on something and cut it. Okay, got this line that I sort of scratched in. Doesn't much matter. I can make it across that. Now you ask, Dave, if you said this is cracked, why didn't it fall? And it's because my piece is just a little bit over 2 1/4 inches, it turns out. I can't cut it in one pass. Oh well, cut all the way across, get a handsaw out. Cut it! It was just in the middle, where it's a little thick. That's great. All right, this is cracked. We know it's cracked. Right, cracked. I say it's cracked. And it is. It's cracked. All right, that's a tomorrow project. That crack didn't go into where I want to cut the bowl. I got some. This is going to work out fine. It's a little thick in the middle, more than the edge, but I'm not going to say anything. All right, and this is a piece, as I say, du jour. Let's go do something with this. All right, so I've got one marked. I'll do another one. Leave myself a little bit of room. Give myself a little bit of edge. So I'll start myself right there. That's my center point. So I've got 2 marked out for centers. That should work. I'm going to make a better center point for this one. All right, good. Now I know where those are. Okay, bandsaw. All right, now, when you're making a bunch of things that are somewhat the same, the issue is speed, and speed in the lathe work comes from work holding. What can you do? Wow, this is crooked. What can you do to make something faster? You simplify your holding. So I've got this screw. I'm going to drill a hole in it. I'm going to drive this stump of a screw in it, and I'm going to mount that screw into the lathe, into the chuck on the lathe, and spin this thing, and it will work. Wait till you see. Got my creaky old drill press all hooked up. I need to shim this just a teeny bit of this outside edge because it's so crooked. All right, that's good. Got it. So that will be the inside of the bowl. Okay, so I've got that bit mounted in here. It's a bit effed up. Let me move this a little bit back. This particular set of jaws that I'm interested in using are kind of swallow a little bit of this screw, but leave a little bit of the stump that's sticking out. Not good. Not good. So I've got a piece of wood I'm going to shove on there. Tighten. Okay. That will cover over this lumpy part and provide the thing that's really required, which is a flat surface. All right, so this right here will now thread onto that. Pretty cool. Got to get my spacer worked out. I think that's it. Now the dream here is that that screw goes in and this face that's up against this is flat and any variations in the bottom. Seems pretty good to me. Okay, so now we'll get to turning the bottom. Okay, so let's start out by flattening this. Ultimately, I'm going to want, it's all about work holding. So ultimately I want to have a little stem sticking out that will be the bottom of this little bowl. And it needs to be 2 3/4. So I'm going to mark 1 3/8 like that. That's not really that close. Try it again. Better. All right, like that. Got to flatten this a little bit more. Good. Do a quick double check to see if I've got the surface right. This is still a little bit weak right here. I've got to do a better job. So the drill now is I'm going to make a slightly dovetailed stem on the bottom of this thing. While we're here, we'll check the rest of it. Got it all good. All right, so little stem. I'm going to take this down a little more. Remember, that bottom wasn't really, the piece wasn't perfectly parallel, so the bottom was still a little bit off. All set now, all cleaned up. And that's going to be my foot. That's that. A little rough right there. I don't think much of that. Quick sharpen the chisel. Be right back. Okay, got some 100 grit sandpaper. You've seen sanding before. So I've got my dovetail foot that my clamp will clamp onto, do a great job. Got a little teeny scored line right there that doesn't seem to be going away. I'm going to sand this again. I thought I had it. There are a couple of lines I don't like. Let's try it again. So, the wise man once said, don't work too hard on the finish, because if you do too good a job on the finish, people will be afraid to use it. So, this is beeswax. I rubbed some beeswax on the surface. I've got some steel wool, and it's an old beater piece of steel wool impregnated with wax, and that's the finish. That's that. Now, let's try to get this off that screw, because I've been cranking on it. Oh man. All right, try this. Got it. Got it. Now, if everything's right, and it could be, I'll yank this screw out like that and open these jaws up. That's that. Now it's held in place, and it's held on a thing that I just turned, so that the thing is, if everything's right with the world, is concentric. It's not going to be wobble, wobble, wobble. Now it's a hollow it out time. Now I have to check for depth. Because this was so out of parallel, I also nicked the surface of the edge a couple of times. Not to worry. And this thing measures out 1 and to the bottom of the bowl part of it, 1 11/16. And here I'm 1 1/2. So I got 3/16 of an inch at the bottom. That's close enough. All right, I got to fix this edge because I hit it a couple of times. It's got a couple of nicks in it, not to worry. And then smooth out the rest of it. You notice I was working the edge. I can't come back to that edge. It's going to scream too much. So I'm working the edge, working the edge, working the edge. Keep on working down and then get into the bottom. Hear that? Oh, look at that. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's finished. It's waxed. It's just beautiful. Love it. Let's go do another one because these are so much fun. Thanks for watching.